thoughts for me about a number of different things, maybe to start things off. And I wanted to start off with a kind of a rant first, if that's okay, because it informs a little bit about what I think about the people that I'm looking for to hire, both in the library and in our computing environment. It really is very similar. As CIO and Chief Librarian, we hire a lot of people who are information professionals, librarians, IT specialists, people who use information or make use of information in all kinds of different ways. Our staff is around 250 people, a lot of part-timers on top of that. So we're hiring a lot of people for whom information is the center of what it is they do. And the rhetoric around my role is I'm trying to provide and use information in a way that will help the institution be effective and more useful and help our students and our faculty and staff be more successful in what they do. And I guess that's the core piece of my rant. Everything I get described as doing is encapsulated by saying, it's part of the information age. That I'm in the information age, and this is what I try and bring to the institution in some way. And I guess I'm going to say right at the outset that I think the information age is dead. It's kaput, it's toast, it's completely over. In fact, it's more than just toast, it's like burnt toast. It's toast, you can't get that smell out of the house when you burn toast. To me, the information age metaphor is that problem for us. It hangs around and actually precludes us doing what we could do in these kinds of roles. So I'm going to suggest to you that I'm going to put that metaphor aside a little bit when you think about what you're doing and the kinds of roles you're going to apply for. And instead of the information age, think about the age of imagination. I think what we bring to roles, what you bring to these kinds of roles that you're looking at for after graduation, are ways not of gathering information and putting it in its place and all that other good stuff that happens. It's rather how we're going to transform society and institutions and using that information in creative and different ways. It's that creativity that you're going to bring to your role and to your work that, to me, is at the core of what we do as professionals and what I need, in fact, as employees in the work that I do, either in the library or in the computing center or in any of the areas that I'm responsible for. So with that, I think when we look at who we're trying to hire in higher ed in those kinds of roles, I think it's fair to say that what we're looking for is not necessarily expertise. We're not expecting you to come with that level of criteria. What we're looking for are ideas. We don't hire entry-level people assuming that they're seasoned professionals, that you've got all these great experiences. We look for people who have potential, who have opportunity, who are excited about what they might do. And I think that it kind of zeroes in on the single thing I look for most of all when I talk with any kind of candidate, and that's curiosity. Are you curious about what's going on, about what this role might be, about what the institution is, about what the library might be, or the IT shop? Dorothy Parker, I don't know if you know anyone who knows Dorothy Parker, the great New York writer, once said that curiosity is the cure for boredom. There is no cure for curiosity. And I think that's how I see the world. It's people who are so engaged with what they're doing that they're interested in finding out more, they want to probe it and go for it. So when people come to us and they're not interested, they're not asking questions, they're not probing, I'm not really interested in them. They're not interested in us, I'm not terribly interested in them. And I really say that's critical. It's probably mundane to say that, but it's so true, and it differentiates people who come through that door when they're looking for work, they're looking for a career, they're looking for something. And it reminds me of, I know we're going to talk about interviews, but I know you've probably gone through it. If you haven't taken a course or a program on going to an interview, do this. The interview is such an important skill to know and have under your belt. Get some coaching, get some advice on that. You'd be stunned how many people blow interviews, are terrible interviews, do completely the wrong thing. So with a little bit of preparation, a little bit of research around what you're doing, you can actually stand out from folks that come in terribly unprepared. So do all that homework. It really is valuable. I'll tell you a story, though, real quickly, if I can. My daughter just got a job at Canadian Tire, the headquarters in Toronto, as a marketing specialist. And just to show you, sometimes this preparation doesn't work entirely the way you might think it would. She wrote this wonderful letter to them, talking about herself, the qualifications to apply for this job, outlining all that she's done, blah, blah, blah. And she consistently referred to the company as Home Depot. And they gave her an interview anyway, she got a job. So sometimes it just things you might want to think about. When you're looking at employment and you're looking at a particular position. I'm really big on organizational culture and cultural fit. So is the place that you're looking at, the employer, the institution, the job, whatever it turns out to be, really fit with what you want to do? It's really important to remember that they may well be choosing you, but you're choosing them as well. There's a choice process on both sides of this. And you want to make sure you choose well. You choose the kind of institution that's going to offer you what you want, how you want to develop as a professional, and how you see your career moving in some direction. Not all institutions, not all jobs are the right fit for you. The culture's wrong, the direction they're moving to isn't the one you want to move in, and you really need to probe that in a way that finds that match. In the case of Guelph, for example, we're very upfront with our librarians who are applying for positions and tell them that effectively what we're going to do is throw them in a deep end. They're just going to get tossed into the middle of work, and we're going to see how they're going to make it with that. They get huge amounts of opportunities sort of day two on the job. And for a lot of people, that's scary. If it's really scary, they shouldn't take the job when they hear that. If it's sort of scary, I'm okay with that. If they're really excited about being thrown in the deep end, I kind of worry about them. I'm worried about whether they're the right fit. But I think they need to see that our environment is one where there's a tremendous amount of self-direction, a tremendous amount of opportunity, but we need people who come to the table prepared to take that on and work with it. Some folks, that isn't good for them. That's not what they want. For other folks, that's exactly what they're going to thrive on. So finding that cultural fit is really important. And that also leads to another piece, which is around diversity of ideas. I think a lot of organizations actually end up hiring the same people over and over again, the same people with the same ideas and the same perspectives. They actually don't realize that their choices for hiring the same people are kind of baked into their procedures. They can't get out of it. So you end up with an organization that has very similar thinking folks. And I would urge you to avoid these organizations. These are the places you don't want to work, because it's not going to provide the kind of diversity to the employer or to you or to that community that you become part of if you end up with this really similar kind of work environment with similar kinds of professions. You really want people across the spectrum. And as an employer, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for people who come through the door with different ideas that may even clash with some of the things that we're talking about. That's how some things we're doing, because that's how we generate new ideas, we move in different directions, and we can question what we're doing. One more piece I'd like just to refer to real quick is tribal identities. One of the pieces that, in the organization I have, because it's very diverse across libraries and IT and lots of other factors, we are really a community of lots of different professionals. Librarians, information technology folks, learning professionals, whole cadres of folks who have their own professional definition, their own professional value system, their own professional way of working. And one of the tricks we're seeing in higher ed now, and certainly within Guelph, is that these communities of interest, these tribal communities who are very strong, need to work together and overcome those identities and find ways of working together that actually allow them to complement each other, not clash. We want to see those identities work for the larger whole. So we're looking for people who have strong professional identities, strong value systems, but can work with others as well. How do you work with IT professionals who are also working with information? How do you work with learning professionals, PhD educationists, who also are working in the library helping students? And how do those different professional communities engage with each other and be very successful on that larger sort of platform? So I would encourage you to think about being a professional within a cadre of other professionals and how that larger community will work together. Last piece for me is, I'm getting the eye, I know, is self-promotion. You're in a different place than I was when I was here, literally a century ago. In that there are tools for self-promotion that you have, Twitter, blogs, all that sort of stuff. I would encourage you to use that as a way of talking about your ideas and yourself to the outside world. I follow a lot of students on things like Twitter and blogs, and it makes connections for me, it makes me aware of what's going on, and it's a way for them to advertise themselves as future professionals, future employees, and I think that's a tool that you have that can be extraordinarily